Hey, what's up, everybody? I guess it's my turn to make a video on the obvious, on the elephant in the room. I'm just gonna go ahead and just run some gameplay footage of arenas and gameplay that I did on Hotfix 69 while we talk about the recent patch. I want to start off by saying that I have a lot of mixed opinions and feelings about the way things are going. So there might be things that I'll say that are very positive, very optimistic, very negative, very mixed, pretty much all over the spectrum of feedback and criticism. Feedback and criticism for the game, for SDF, for the community, just the way that I personally feel based off of the first impression of playing the game. But of course, nobody likes the state of the game right now because armor feels completely useless. I'm not going to go into the specifics. You guys already saw all these other videos of other content creators talking about the dullness of the game and how it feels right now and how it feels pretty much like a battle royale. I'm not really here to talk about that. I'm kind of here to talk about the overall picture of what's going on. I also just want to make you aware, and most of you guys already know, that I am a solos player. I mostly play solos, and I occasionally do arenas with my friends. I don't normally do duos or trios, and if I do, I occasionally do it. I only have seriously played two classes, which is the fighter and the ranger. I will try my best to see the perspectives of the other classes, and I will try my best to not be extremely biased towards fighter and ranger only. But I do see other classes and how they suffer, and I do feel for them. Everybody already knows the obvious. Rangers and barbarians are having a great time. The gear is kind of weird right now, but I don't want to start there. What I'm about to talk about is going to be all over the place. It will be all over the place, and some things might not feel like that I'm coming to a conclusion when I'm talking about them. This is more of just like an expression of what I think about Hotfix 69. There are certain theories that I have about what SDF is doing in terms of where he wants to take the game, and some points might not feel like that they're being finished, but that's mainly because I don't know where to conclude them. So I'm just going to try my best to do that, and hopefully you guys find this video helpful or entertaining, or hopefully more so optimistic than doomer, because all I'm seeing on YouTube right now is a lot of hate for the game. And I also just want to mention that I am not sponsored by Iron Mace. I have no contracts with Iron Mace. When I do talk good about them, it's not because I'm trying to you know, like get a sponsorship or something. Like, I have no connection with Iron Mace at all in terms of like any contracts or anything like that. So I am telling you exactly what I think and how I feel about the situation. I also want to let you know that I'm sort of a bozo, and I don't even know what that means, but I'm not really like a freaking psychological genius, whatever, specialist gamer, designer, whatever, okay? I just play this game out of passion, and I'm fortunate enough to have been able to make some sort of a career out of it as well. I mean, the career came out of just pure love for the game. So I just want to let you know, I love this game. So I'm going to be saying what I think. Some of my takes might not be great. Some will disagree. Some will agree. At the end of the day, I think all of us just want the game to win, right? Because there's no way in hell a community goes this rabid when a patch like this comes out. Everybody is doing this out of love. There's no way in hell that people are that angry and out of malice. People are this angry because they love this damn game. So let's get right into it. The way that the game is right now on Hotfix 69, it's not the end result. And this has been stated by Grayson, which I know he's not a developer, but he's a community manager. I think he's the community manager. Here's exactly what Grayson said. I completely understand this patch is a shock to players, especially with the change coming in the middle of the season. This is just one of the steps in the process of moving the game towards the original vision. This is not the end result, and we really appreciate our players who support us in this journey. So this is exactly what Grayson said in general chat. I don't think the developers have adequately expressed their original vision to us. Even if they did express their original vision to us, or where they're trying to take the game, they didn't express it adequately enough. And I think the developers need to start doing this. They need to start adequately expressing exactly where they're trying to take the game, so that we don't freak out when we get a patch like this. We're all hearing that SDF has a vision for the game. I could sort of relate to him because I used to play in bands. Although playing in a band and making a game are two separate categories. When you are the leader of a band and you have a vision and you have a creative you have a creative control that you're trying to get your other band members to follow you on. Not everybody can see the vision that you see. And the vision that you see might take you down roads that don't necessarily feel good at first, but eventually become extremely fruitful. And this could be a similar case in what's going on with SDF and his vision for the game. Now, there could be two scenarios here. SDF could be an idiot, and he could be steering the ship in a very wrong direction, which, based off of everybody's impression for the patch, that's what it feels like. That could be one scenario. The second scenario, or scenario, however you like to say it, is it might seem like that SDF is steering us into a bad place, but really he's taking the game to his vision, which is going to bring something that we didn't expect that might be good. Now, some people could 100% completely disagree and just say that, no, like SDF needs to be gone, or SDF needs to get the hell off the team, or something like that. I think I saw a video, somebody was talking about SDF should just be fired, or there's like a petition going around where they want to fire SDF. I completely disagree with that, because he's the man who created this concept in this game. Okay, maybe not the concept, but he created this game, didn't he? Isn't he the one? Isn't he the lead developer? I don't know. Isn't he? If he isn't the lead developer, then yeah, he should get the fuck out of here. But if he's the lead developer and he's the one who is creating this game, then no, he should not leave. At least as far as I know, he made this game. And if I'm wrong, please comment below. Or if it was Terry, I don't know. It was one of those two, wasn't it? I'm not entirely sure if completely throwing him off board is a good freaking idea, man. But it's also really hard to just say trust the process, because everybody does not have an attention span in this day and age. I don't have an attention span. Nobody has an attention span, which is why I think SDF needs to communicate, because right now nobody knows exactly what you're trying to do. I think actually, for the most part, he listens to like major feedback. Like, for an example, okay, listen, I know what you're about to say. SDF doesn't listen to a damn thing. No, he does listen. Why do you think multi-classing and creep got removed? Because general chat cried for months. That's why they got removed. You guys go into general chat right now, all you're gonna see is people complaining about the state of the game. If you do that long enough, he's gonna do something. He's gonna do something about it. He doesn't want you to leave. It's not like he's trying to intentionally kill his player base. As far as like everything that's going on in terms of, you know, the gear changes and the balance changes for the classes, I'm pretty separated from it from the majority of the player base, because I do play Ranger, which is apparently a pretty powerful class. But you also have to remember, I mostly play Survival Bow, Forceful Shot Ranger, barely use traps, and I never use the longbow. And I only use recurve bow in arena. So I'm not really your traditional ranger. So I don't know if that makes it any better, because I know people just hate rangers. But I'm not longbowing you to death in 2 shots. You know, I'm playing the harder ranger, which is like the survival bow trapless ranger. I barely trap people. This game is all about fighting the unbalanced. That's what Dark and Darker is. There's no way you can balance a game with swords, shields, wizardry, and invisibility. You can't balance that. You just cannot. I think if you're a person who really loves Dark and Darker, you have to come to the conclusion that this game will never be balanced, and there's always going to be a class that gets pushed up to S tier, and always another class pushed down to A tier or B tier. And also, like, you know, some classes have been in S tier and A tier for way too long. But for an example, like last patch, the last couple patches, Barbarian was probably B tier. Like, B or A tier. Like, dude, because freaking PDR fighters were dominating in S tier, like, this entire time. And now, would you take a look at what's happening in patch 69? Now, Barbarians are in S tier. So, when you play Dark and Darker, you have to have the mindset that this is a game of fighting the unbalanced, and that's what makes it great. Because what made Dark Souls great? The difficulty of it. That's what made Dark Souls great. And that's what makes this game great. What makes this game great is the hardcore aspect of it. It's very difficult to play the game. It's very difficult to win your fights. Now, here's where it becomes unfun, when it's absolutely unfair, which is what's going on with Barbarian right now. It is absolutely unfair. It really is. Like, Barbarians, like, are way too powerful, and I don't know why sometimes they make these drastic changes where Barbarian is just a god for, like, 3 days, and then they make a hotfix where they nerf it. I don't know why they do that. But there has been points in the game where the PvP does feel quote-unquote balanced, in a sense where every class can almost beat every class. You know, there's always going to be hard counters, but eventually more quote-unquote balanced changes happen, and then your favorite class gets dunked down to like A tier or B tier or something like that, and then you have to readjust. All I can tell you is trust the process, but people are too impatient. I don't know, take a break and come back when the game is better, I guess. Or what you can do is just try to adapt. And then you're going to say, try to adapt. What are you trying to say? You want me to just play Barbarian? Or you might say, try to adapt, man. Like, there's nothing to do in this game anymore. Everything is done. Like, you know, everything is meaningless. Well, I mean, it is pretty PvP intensive at this time. So maybe this is a good patch to try to get better at PvP. I mean, you've had a last couple of good wipes with just PvE only orientation where you have to just loot treasure for your demigod. How about this time, you know, let's just roll with the punches. Right now, it seems like it's just all PvP, so why don't we just, you know, ride the wave? It's not like, you know, our input is going to literally change SDF's vision. When you are a visionary, quote-unquote visionary, or you have a vision for something, you do take people's input and you do listen to people, but for the most part, at the end of the day, he's going to make his own decisions no matter what. So you don't have that much control. So we kind of don't really have that much control over what's going to happen with the game. All we can do is just complain in general chat, and he's going to eventually listen to some of the changes. But for the most part, I don't think SDF gives a fuck. He's going to do what he wants to do. And some people are going to stick around for that, and some people are not. The proposed solution on my end is to, let's just fucking adapt. And we're just going along for the ride. I mean, what else do you want me to tell you? There's literally nothing else I can tell you. I mean, do you want me to just be a doomer about it? There's literally nothing that we can do about it. I want to give you guys my first impressions of playing the game. And I'm going to give you my first impressions of playing the game as a ranger. But not only that, I want to also just let you know that my mindset is probably different than a majority of the player base's mindset when playing this game. And here is why. Because I play this game only for PvP. And I already know people are not going to like my perspective because the way that I play this game is very untraditional. I play this game to kill. I do not loot one chest. The only bosses I kill is Troll and Cyclops, and I only do that for good loot. The only other thing I'm looting are players, and I understand that that could piss off some of the hardcore players, but that's just the way that I play the game. That's the way that I like to make content on the game. So for me, I like this patch. I'm enjoying this patch because the time to kill is short, and I love the feeling of killing people so fast, and the game feels more lightweight in a sense where it is like a battle royale, and that's what I personally like. But here's what I personally think also. I don't think that's good for the game, because this is a legit looter, hardcore extraction game, and it's not a PvP battle royale game. It's not. It's a PvPvE hardcore dungeon looter extraction game, and this patch churned it into pure PvP, and the recent leaderboard changes as well churned it into pure PvP. And even though that's what I like, I know that that's not what a majority of the player base likes. And I was just fine making content, just doing PvP. I was staying in my own lane and having a good time. So I don't mind if the game goes back to, you know, like more stronger PvE oriented than some PvP. Because at the end of the day, I'm just going to be a savage in the dungeon and just do my thing. Whether you think I'm a legitimate player or not, because of that, I really don't care. I do what I enjoy, but I also care about the health of the game. And I don't only care about the health of the game because I have somewhat of a career for it, but I care about the health of the game because I genuinely enjoy the game. But I'm serious. If the game dies and my Twitch career dies, I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm gonna be homeless. And people don't believe that, and they keep saying like you're just saying that. I am not gonna work another 9 to 5. This is my final gig, boys. If YouTube and Twitch don't work out, I will stop paying my rent and I will go be homeless. And I'm not saying that to make you feel bad or anything. That's what I genuinely want. Never again am I working a fucking 9 to 5, man. So thanks for coming along for the ride. And yeah, I didn't talk about anything like the gear changes or whatever too much in detail because everybody else is talking about that stuff. This is just sort of like an overview of the vision, I guess. This is what I mean. I didn't leave you guys with a conclusion. I don't know what to leave you guys with. Like, I do want to propose an idea, and I want to hear your guys' input, because on the chance that the Dark and Darker page actually looks at our video here, maybe they'll see some of your guys' comments. What do you guys think of rogues being the only class that is exclusive to daggers? PDR fighters no longer can have daggers. Or fighters in general can no longer have daggers. Fighters can only have swords, falchions, arming swords, you know, long swords. What do you guys also think about fighters only being able to carry crossbows and rangers only being able to carry bows? And crossbows, of course. Rangers can have bows and crossbows. But fighters, exclusively, they'll only be able to carry crossbow. That way, there's a little more class identity to a rogue, a ranger, and a fighter. A rogue has more class identity because they can use daggers. A ranger has more class identity because they can use bows. You know, so what do you guys think of that? What if they did a small change like that? What would you guys think would happen to the game? Comment below. But yeah, that's all I have for you. Sorry that I don't have a solution to this hellish problem. I know a lot of people are very upset with the state of the game. There's nothing that I could say or do that's going to change that man's mind. It's all up to him and whatever the hell he wants to do. I know I'm going to get some people who are actually going to hate on me for liking the patch, but I mean, that's genuinely how I feel. But it is my play style. Just because I like it doesn't mean I think it's good for the game. So yeah, that's about it, guys. That's all I got for you today. Thank you very much for sticking by, and I hope this was helpful. I look forward to hearing from you guys in the comment section below. If you have something good to say, go ahead and say it. If you have something bad to say, go ahead and say it. Either way, I'm making money off of you.